If the Christ or Buddha returned today, would you recognize him? The one awaited by all major religions has come when we least expected it. He is ready to emerge openly very soon. Look for a bright star shining in the sky night and day as a sign of his public emergence.
I'll remind you as the date gets closer so you can stock up on snacks and beverages, but a comet is coming. A big and brilliant comet arriving in November 2013. It could potentially be 15 times brighter than the moon and visible in broad daylight.
Eyes at NASA are on the skies because of a comet coming in for its final turn around the sun. And if it survives that part of the trip, we are all in for a spectacular and multi-week-long show in the night sky. It is the comet Ison, and astronomers say it basically can trace its life back to the beginning of time. Already it's visible through telescopes and binoculars. If it survives the slingshot around the sun, it will be visible to the naked eye as a kind of bright but dirty snowball in the pre-dawn sky in the days approaching Christmas.
Hey guys, this is credit to Dabu7, and it's just a little JPL of Comet Ison. As you can see, it's right there. It is now between the orbit of Venus and Mercury, and check this out here. It is 666 astronomical units from the sun. I just found that just, you know, a little coincidentally amusing today, so hope you enjoyed that. Check it out.
Comet Ison today as it crosses Venus's orbit at exactly 0.666 AU, heading toward the sun. Inky would be situated right about here, as you can see in this diagram. Right here, Ison would be about right here, on the 13th.
Alright, this is just some other comet. I just wanted to show you just how coincidental Ison was to the mark of the beast. I think it's signifying the AC's coming, so...
Right, I want to maybe do a little cautionary nerd alert here, because I want to show you a really cool sight in the sky that we could be in for. Comet Ison hurtling towards the sun at 248 miles per second. This is a projection of the path that it could be taking. It's expected this comet could slingshot right around the sun on Thanksgiving. Now, whether it survives its brush with the sun or not is in question. NASA says that actually the tail could get yanked off by solar particles, or as we see in this animation, it could cook the frozen ice particles and destroy it completely. So why do we care? Here's the question. It is coming from the very edge of space. That's a big deal. It has taken 5.5 million years to reach us. And if it actually makes it around the sun, it'll be very easy for us to spot with the naked eye. That's some serious pull factor, guys.
It'd be a miracle if it survives this close impact with its mass and I think multiple objects. But one of the things that no one's put into this model, of course they couldn't foresee it, is that on the 19th, when Ison's tail in the outer coma was blown back, that changed the timeline of the debris trail probably by about 7 days. In other words, from the point that Ison comes around, any objects back in that trail, if they follow Ison, like a lot of these comets that break apart do, then you've got about 6 or 7 days there of objects coming in. Now, this is one of the questions that I keep getting asked. Notice we're right here, December 25th, 26th, around Christmas. This is the time that Ison is coming over the Earth. If nothing changes, nothing breaks apart, all things hold to the model, it's going to be 40 million miles above us. Now, if you click over here on the right at the numbers, go down to number 4 in the red, just click on 28th of November and you'll see that they're giving it a chance of breaking apart. Guys, and the reason I'm coming here for a reason. I had the questions and I want to remind you of something. I've done videos on that's called Ison's debris trail, and I'm going to show you some images in this one. But again, Ison will be over us, and the records of the comets that have broken apart with pieces hitting the Earth have come over the top of the Earth. Not only the one that came through in 1490, it came over the North Pole. It came down east over Australia and struck. Now, that one's recorded because they were able to see it. Now, what we've got here, and I'll show you, it's called the Carolina Bays. As we look at the second week of going through the incoming debris trail, we have what's called the Carolina Bays, guys. And I'm going to show you on Google Map what they've done. And I'm going to put a link to this for you guys who've never used it. But there's a plug-in that puts this information in there. And the red line in the middle that goes right over Paul Bickley and Old Marine and all you guys is where the comet that struck was coming. It's coming over the top of the earth and down. And that's the path that it will maintain, except it hit where the yellow lines cross, like near the Great Lakes. And there's scatter shots, there's craters all over, both from, if you look east from Nebraska, west through Nebraska, east, all the way down the east coast. Heavily in the Carolinas, if you remember the story of the Native Americans that were there 12,000 years ago, they saw it coming. And the comet did not strike the earth, but a piece of it did, because after everything and all hell broke loose, they saw the comet going back into outer space. But it broke apart. And this is infrared images of the Carolina area, guys. Look at Shannon, Red Springs, Prospect, Baxter, Laurinburg, all through here. This is Google Earth infrared, another infrared image of this area. And the Native Americans have a story of the tribes that lived there. They saw it coming. They dug themselves into the mud. It burned all the animals and all the trees up. Again, 12,000 years ago when some of this happened. And it came in over the earth. No one knows what's going to happen, guys, but this is history. History repeats itself. And it's a heads up. No one knows, but guys, this is a big comet coming in.
What's going on is you have the comet Ison moving into the left palm of Virgo, where she holds the sheath, the waving of the sheath. Okay guys, this is very exciting to me. These are very exciting times we live in. Christ is very close. I'm not saying that this sign means he is returning on this date or anything like that. But I believe it is a sign for us to encourage us. Amidst all the doom and gloom news of the New World Order, our Redeemer lives, and he is coming to deliver us. As I show you this video, you will see the date in which Ison comes into the right hand, the hand that holds the branch of Virgo. I'm going to tell you, do not put your faith in the idea that when Jesus returns, there's 7 years afterwards. Don't put your faith in this whole dialectic that says A, B, and C has to happen, or the temple has to be rebuilt so that the Antichrist can sit in it, so that 3.5 years can come, so that there can be a peace treaty, blah, blah, blah. Jesus could return tomorrow, and then he could explain to you how everything was fulfilled. So get ready. Your redemption draweth nigh. At the same time that this sign, Revelation 12 sign, occurred. Now, ELEnin, at the time, it fizzled, and I believe much of the hula surrounding it was a psyop, but I still believe it was our harbinger for us to look up and take note of that sign. Now, as the harbinger, and relating it back to this idea with Victor Victoria, it was real information, I believe, yet they cloaked it in disinformation, and as they cloaked it in disinformation, now most people are dismissing Ison as, oh, it's just another element. I heard it the other day. And it's not having any scrutiny. The pictures we're getting, they're not believable. Now, I'm going to show you another clue from the Patty Broussard interview and how it relates to the psyop around the ELEnin. And it's in the dates. At the very end of that video I did, and I'm going to show it to you, there were two people calling about Niburu, and they used two dates. They used the August 17th and September 26th. Two independent guys that have nothing to do with each other.
Event is going to be, we believe will be happening, at least that's what I'm reporting from my 4 different independent sources. August 17th, it appears that Niburu may be making its closest passage into our solar system, and then on September 26th, closest passage as it goes back out.
By the Illuminati to trap the New Age people, to trap them into believing they have to prepare for this date, so they're caught totally unawares by what's going to happen in the next 2 months. There's a little comet called ELEnin. Every time this little comet is in alignment with our planet and either the sun or some other body, there's a major earthquake. Now, by putting Earth, Venus, the Sun, and Mercury, they're in a straight line, and Niburu is at right angle to the Sun. At August the 17th, I'm being told there's going to be a massive earthquake on the planet. It will be probably somewhere between Alaska and San Francisco. The next alignment happens on September 26th this year.
So that was 2011, 2012, and now in 2013, Patty Broussard has also stated 2 dates. Now they're not August 17th and September 26th, but they're August 17th and August 26th. I just find that too remarkably close. And the whole 1726, both of them adding up to 8, it's a Saturn psyop. They are so hard hitting this with disinfo. And there's 2 clues in the whole Patty Broussard thing. And so I wanted to bring you those. And so we'll put up and show you how Ison comes into view on Stellarium. It is quite fascinating that once again, during the fall festivals, actually it's a little bit after the fall festival, but into Sukkot and into some of the later, I think, assemblies of the 8th day is the last one. This is Ison is going to come into view. You are going to see Ison at the palm of Virgo's hand. And they've cloaked it in disinfo. And here's what I think it might be. In 2011, we had several significant things going on in the heavens during the fall festival season. First, we had Comet ELEnin, which was over-dramatized, overplayed. I still think it was significant. It was overplayed in the fact that too many Christians were calling for it as a sign of the rapture. Several things are significant because at the same time, in Virgo, which is clothed with the sun every fall festival season, it also had the moon at the feet, and Venus, the bright morning star, the only planet that's associated with Christ spiritually, was in her belly, travailing in birth. And as ELEnin approached, she was at perigee at the same time that this sign, Revelation 12 sign, occurred.